Hey guys, I'm Simon and this is an architecture tour of Morrowind. Last time we were here, I actually forgot about one more place we should go. And it was pointed out by one of the viewers in the comments.
Whatever you want.
I think this is the wrong place. Anyway,
What is your business?
there's two expansions to not to Mornhold, to Morrowind. One of them is Tribunal, which added Mornhold to the game, this city here, and the second expansion added an island to the northwest. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, we're going there. It's basically an ice place, and there's really strong monsters and there's a few quests over there. There's not too much architecture, mostly it's just ice and a forest, and I guess there's like a village. And we're only gonna go to the one Nord village.
Keep moving.
Because I don't actually think... Yeah, so there's a lot of dungeons. There's like caves and then tombs and all that. And there's a quest and... I'm just trying to think whether it's worthwhile going to the quest area. Well, never mind that too much. We are going to... Where's the best place to go? I'll show you where it is on the map. And because I haven't been there yet, I actually don't know for sure where we're going. So we are going up to Skaal, I believe, and then this is the island. So that's not in the original game, that's added in the expansion. Namuk. Hopefully I'm high enough level and strong enough to not die too much. Travel to Skaal.
Is there something I can do?
And this guy. Solstheim. I don't know. Solstheim? Anyway, Frostmoth is the port. So now we are here, as you can see, on the island. The island looks like that. Not much to know here yet. And it's interesting with the distant landscape. I've only actually played through this expansion once, because, well, I got it quite late. The trees are different. You'll see there's no mushrooms. So we have pine trees, which are more familiar to us. Is that? I think that's the mainland over there. So Fort Frostmoth is the same old Imperial fort. Architecturally not too interesting, although it's a bit bigger than... It's almost as big as Ebonheart. And there's general quarters and all that. So nothing new architecturally. The inside is all the same as the other fort we've been to. So never mind this. I hope he's not gonna attack us.
Be careful out here in the wild, friend. There's more roaming about than just wolves and bears.
Yeah, so Thirsk. So he tells you about all the monsters, or all the enemies. Thirsk is where we're going. Mead Hall. If you read the Skaal Village, there's a Skaal Village. So let's see if it added... No, it didn't add a marker. Anyway, the lake is there. Skaal Village is probably over here, I think. let's just... Oh, there's bears. Let's just run that way. The good thing about the distant landscape is that we can spot the dungeons quite easily. So, I believe... Sorry about the skipping, I think it's loading the landscape in it. It lags a little bit. Is there a dungeon here? No. Oh yes there is, so... Oh great, a rat. So the dungeons in this expansion looks like that. Not too interesting, I mean it's just caves. The chest is locked and I'm not gonna bother too much of this stuff. So yep. Tombs and caves. A little different, but not exactly interesting. Is the bear gonna attack me? Guess not. Oh, I guess it is. Wait. Nope. It doesn't give you any loot. One of those boars. And there's some geological formations around. Ah, there it is. See that hut? The mead hall, they call it. Oh great, let's avoid those guys. What's over there? They're like saber-toothed tigers or something. Those are berserkers, they are also enemies. I don't quite remember why the Imperials are establishing an outpost here. I think there's ebony or something. There's some resource that's valuable. Ouch. It's over there, okay. And there's berserkers. I'll try not to get spotted. Alright. And we should be clear from... Nope, there's still a few more creatures around the place. Anyway, so the Nords live in this place. It's only one building, which is interesting. It's a mead hall, I guess it's based on real life Nordic people, Vikings. They have a forge outside, although it's not very sheltered. This guy's a smith, I believe. Weapons.
Come, friend. I make the best armor on all of Solstheim.
Yeah, well, you're the only guy who makes armor on Solstheim, so it doesn't say much, does it? There's like secret weapons here. I wonder if I should grab this yet. Look at this, damage health 5,000 points on strike. These things will kill anything in one shot. Oh, Ring of the Raven Eye. This might be useful. It's a constant effect Night Eye, so what happens is... Well, that's interesting. I thought it would change the Oh no, it doesn't. It's night eye. Okay. In this game, night eye doesn't change the color. In Oblivion, night eye will change the color of everything you're looking at. But that's useful in caves. So if it's dark, then it'll just brighten everything up. Anyway, Thirsk is just one building, which is somewhat strange. You'd think that the more... Oh, there's like an antechamber. These things are useful, by the way, to keep the cold out. You know, imagine if there's a blizzard outside, you don't want to just open one door and then have all the snow pile in. So you have this little... You have a double door, so you open one and then close and then open the other. So you don't lose too much heat, or you don't let too much of the cold come in.
Oh, welcome to Thirsk, friend. You should speak to Skolder Wolfrunner. He's the chieftain of this hall and wishes to meet all new arrivals.
So, these are all Vikings. Unlike real life, the women are just as lively as the men. So, no sexism there.
Enjoy our mead and kinship.
Watch yourself near Eric, friend. He's a swine of a man. It's too bad he's my clan brother.
Alright, so they've got some issues. Architecturally is not that impressive. The ceiling is very clean. In fact, everything's very clean, which is unusual because they have an open fire. You would expect everything here to be covered in soot. But never mind that too much. It's a double story. Wait a minute. No, that's right. It's double story. Doors. Oh, that's an Imperial. A history of Thirsk? Yeah, so he's a scholar. Yeah, apparently he's living here with the Nords. So, yeah. Oops. I mean, I guess that's it. There's not too much more to say about this. It's a giant timber hall. I mean, architecturally it's kind of interesting, although I'm not sure if it's structurally sound.
Enjoy our mead and kinship.
Well, we have that and that. There's like two, and these major rafters are not resting on any columns.
Watch yourself near
I'm not sure if this is actually structurally sound.
It's too bad he's my clan brother.
You know, these are huge rafters. Supposedly they're major load-bearing rafters, so you would expect columns to be holding these up like that is on that. Well, never mind. Never mind. So this is the architecture of Solstheim, I guess. I mean, it's not that interesting. And there's not much to say about it. This expansion, I guess, is mostly about new monsters and new quests, and that's about it. Is that that's a village over there? Or at least it's a house. Actually, I think there's more than one village. Let's walk around a little bit more. Not those guys. Where are we anyway? We're here. Let's heal a little bit. I think this is the wrong way. Now all we can do is just fly. Because the enemies can't fly. And also we can get a better view of what's going on. Is that a naked guy? It is. Is that a berserker? It is. We'll ignore the naked guy. I'm not sure how many of you are interested in naked guys, but whoa! Is he? Okay. Well. I guess the naked guy wants to come to us. He's not even wearing his armor, which he has. Okay, so there is a village here. Skaal Village, okay. You are not of Skaal. These guys are not as friendly as the guys at Thirsk, and I'm not going to spoil the story by saying why. But there's apparently more of them than there are of the ones in Thirsk, and they've got more houses at least. Look how big these houses are. It's kind of inconsistent with the rest of the game. I mean, it's an expansion, of course, but if you compare it to the houses we saw in Balmora, say, or Aldrune, or even in the Imperial towns of Caldera and Peligad, most of the houses were about a quarter of the size of these. Now, those were quite unrealistic. I mean, well, I'm not sure actually. I guess small houses aren't that big of a deal. But these houses are quite big, comparatively, and 1, 2, 3, I guess there's like 3 beds. A house for 3 people, it's large, I guess. I mean, usually the size of houses indicates the affluence of the people, so maybe these are supposed to be richer than the others, although I don't see how, because they live in this hostile climate and there aren't that many resources here. I mean, there's no agriculture. Look at this armor. There's no agriculture, there's no mining, there's no... I don't know, do they... Oh, this is nice. That's nice. So, structurally this makes a little bit more sense, except, see that column? It doesn't actually go all the way to the top. That's unusual. Usually you have columns that go all the way to the rafters, because that's what you're trying to hold up. And not have columns just stop halfway.
There is no more to say to you, stranger. The Skaal wish you no harm, but you are not welcome here.
We are not welcome here. Yeah, well, you're not welcome at my home, neither. That's nice, look at that. I mean, this is strange, like in every detail, like there's more... Look at these tapestries, there's more decoration here than in Thirsk. So apparently these guys have either been here for longer, or they just have more resources. And look at they've got green paint and blue paint and red paint. Where would you get paints from? Never mind. Never mind that too much. So, yeah, a Nord village. Based loosely on Vikings, I guess. I mean, that's what the Nords are based on. Not too much to say. Let's see the layout of this town. The Great Hall... See, that makes no sense. The Shaman... No, that makes no sense. if the Great Hall is here, then this would be the main courtyard of the village, and you would expect the other houses to be arranged around the Great Hall, because the Great Hall is the most important building in the village. And the more important people will live closer to the Great Hall, you'd expect. You know, kind of like Old Ruin, where you have the giant crab and that's the center of the town. And you have the councillors living under the crab shell. Or even the Ashlander villages, you have the chiefs and the people who are close to the chief living around him and all that. You know, that's the typical arrangement. And that's an arrangement that makes sense. Here, it almost seems like the people are clustered around the shaman. So let's look at that again. Yeah, so you have this, and then these guys are forming one group. These guys are kind of forming another, although the shaman is a little bit off to the side. This guy is just off by himself. It's a little bit strange. I mean, why would you arrange your village like this? If you were building a village, why would you have this house like that? Why would that house not be back here, facing this way, so you're all facing together, then have this guy live closer in? You know, and then you actually feel like you're a community. You know, you're all, you know, in a group. You're facing the same way and all that. I don't know, that's a little bit strange. The arrangement. Is that a secret? Yeah, it is. There's something down there, although it's probably part of a quest. I believe that's a witch, so she lives by herself. A bridge. A bridge. No, I'm surprised by this, because bridges are obviously not easy to build, and you can imagine this thing. A bridge only makes sense if there are enough people trying to cross the river that it justifies the cost of building a bridge. Now, as far as I can tell, there's nothing up here in Solstheim. There's like 3 groups of people. 2 of them are Nord villagers, and there's no way there's enough people to warrant bridge building, in my estimation, so I don't know what's going on there. And hopefully if I just keep flying, they won't aggro on me, although it's slower. Alright, let's keep running. I guess there's one more place we can look at. And that's that thing there in the distance. There's an ice giant in this expansion, and he lives there, I believe. It's like an ice castle. Somewhat similar to the Fortress of Solitude in Superman. You know, I think it's in Antarctica or something. Giant ice fortress. Something like that. Whoa! We just avoid any combat because we're not interested. That structure there, I don't remember what that's for. Anyway, this is the ice fortress. And spoiler alert. Oh, really? No. There. Why would you do that? The weapons are quite strong though. Not as good as mine. Alright. Spoiler alert. Daedric Right Pauldron. But that's not why we're here. That's a glacier. I think that's the main... That's where the main quest of this expansion takes place. I won't spoil that. Can we go in? No, we can't. I think it only opens after you get the quest. Anyway, there's nothing too special in there. And I believe that's all of the architecture in Solstheim. Solstheim. Not much more to see. I mean, this is all ice. Yeah, there's not much more to see. This is about it. Alright, and I think this is the last video of this series. Well, no, I'll do one more, but that's not, it won't be part of the game. It will be looking at real world urban forms, I guess, if that makes sense to you. I guess you'll figure out what that means once I show you the video. Alright, thanks for watching.